It's October 24th, 2025. Here's my small account update. Um, I figured I'd get this in early. I don't expect to be making any updates next week or really selling anything uh, because I'm pretty much tapped out. I might be able to buy a little bit of something, but not too much. So what am I still holding? I have 5 shares of BCRX. Today I bought some AMZZ because I'm expecting an Amazon breakout. That's the leveraged ETF for Amazon. Chipotle, I do have a small call in anticipation of them to start an upward trend. And then I did sell SoFi for a loss. I'll take a look at that with a fine comb just so we can learn from that experience. And yeah, right now it's just a waiting game. So let's look at SoFi. Why did I sell? Why did I get in? And why did I sell? Well, what I saw here in my mind was a clear breakout of this steeper trend line. So we're in this sort of downtrend, connect the wicks to the wicks, and it created a downtrend. And we were in like a wedge formation, so there was a an uptrend that ultimately was formed here. And I got in on the small account somewhere up here, and it was looking good for a little bit. But then when this happened, that's when I started sweating. When this downtrend, when this breakdown happened, I started sweating. And that's I ultimately sold I want to say it was somewhere in this range, so I did sell for a small loss. Every loss counts though when you're on a small account. So let's try and learn from that. What could I have done to give me confidence to stay in? Um well, it did bounce down and it did create another trend line ultimately. Um, what was the volume like? Maybe that's the question. Yeah, look at this relative volume down here. So we never got like a volume spike. We never got something like this. That's what I'm usually looking for. But we did see clear accumulation, I think, and clear sustained increase in volume. So that could have given me confidence that, hey, you know what? We're in, that this is going to be a new uh, point that's going to help create a trend line upwards. And you can see we now have, a proper trend line upwards here. We're starting to curl upwards. In fact, the trend lines upwards are getting steeper. So that would be enough things for me to have confidence that this is going to go up. All that said, I didn't lose too much because most of my small account here is in BCRX. It's holding the trend line. It did bounce below it once or twice. I'm on the 30-minute chart right now. And you see it kind of wicks downwards. It gets this EMA support. I don't necessarily care about all that. What I care about is it going to break down below this trend line right here? So I do have a stop around 710. I might let it go a little bit further downward, expecting for it to bounce upwards. The good news is it's had relative strength up until now. So, a little sideways motion on a big green day for the market, I'm not too worried about. The thing that gives me confidence to keep holding this, though, we had some nice accumulation back here. Uh, a nice solid trend line with multiple points. And when the market was deep red, BCRX was in the green. So clearly shows that people care. Now, maybe what's happening is because we had a big green day today in the market, maybe we're getting some selling volume where people are now rotating to like tech stocks or whatever else that is green. So, anyways, that's why I have this secondary trend line here. I mean, I was expecting I was expecting BCRX though to go all the way up to this yellow circle at the very least, so we can take out this wick that was formed on the positive news that they had. If that ends up not happening, I do have a stop in place where I'll sell all of it. I did take some profit when it was pulling away from the trend line, I think up here. So I'm only in 5 shares right now. And if you look at my history, yeah, I sold at 714. And yeah, that was right when it started to pull away from the trend line a little more than I wanted. And then I sold some. And actually, there's a nice buy opportunity. If I wanted to go back in, I could have bought right when it wicked. Well, in a higher time frame, this would be a wick. Right when it went below this trend line, that would have been a nice buy opportunity. because we haven't gone back to that secondary trend line yet on the, where is this? I created that on the 4 hour, the dotted line, because of some wicks. Oh yeah, well, that was what created the secondary trend line. We are not escalating upwards as fast as I'd like, but a little sideways motion I'll keep holding until we hit my stop loss right here. I'm going to move that to 709. I think that's where I'll sell my small account. And I think I put that note here. Sell small account. And for my big account, I want to sell out big account calls, or at least trim them is probably what I'll do. So that's the update. Let's see what happens next week.